Somehow you can't spell win streak in Dead by Daylight without the word drama, and today's case is not any different. So Momo7, who is well known for attempting to reach 2000 wins on Blight in various wedding win streaks in pubs, has lost his win streak again at 1909 something. And I think this is the third or fourth time, and every time he has lost to some comp player, some comp team, stream sniping him in these pub games, which I think is the only way you can end the win streak of a comp player playing the strongest killer in the game with the strongest build possible, playing as well as possible. I don't like win streak. In case you're new here, I don't like win streaks. Unless there's something silly, like let's see how many wins in a row I can get with Myers with only Hex 2 can play. Then, yeah, sure, be my guest. But otherwise, like, what are you proving, bro? I have made different videos in the past on this kind of win streak, being like, what do you have to prove? Like, of course, you're playing against John, who has a challenge from year 2017, and Mary, who is on her third game, and I don't know, like Fabian, who has 3 daughters and a 12-hour day job. Of course, you're gonna win every single game because most of these people just don't care, are not good enough, or don't care and are not good enough. So fine. But this time it's different. So first of all, kudos to Momo7 for not having a crash out, which would have been reasonable when he lost. But his loss, while being against a comp team, playing as well as possible, just like him, by the way, this is a little bit different. This gave me a little bit of PTSD, like a flashback from when I was in high school. So basically what happened is that this time he did not get sniped, but he played against some comp players who were his friends or at least acquaintances. Like, they know each other, they don't hate each other, let's put it that way. And they knew that it was him, someone told them in chat because they were streaming. And they equipped the sweatiest things possible and played in the right way, to play against him. They came prepared, let's put it that way. They were not taken by surprise, which I think is a tiny bit scummy, right? If I know someone and I don't absolutely despise the shit out of them, and they are trying to get a win streak, and I know they're very high in the win streak, and they're playing against me, I'm not saying I'm gonna give them the win, but yeah, I'm probably gonna give them the win. Like, who cares? We already know that Momo can get to 2000. The only way he didn't is because he didn't play against pub players. So this is like a win streak against pub players. And that's as crazy it is. Like, as crazy as it is to want to do a win streak as a comp player against pub players, that's what he's doing. That's his thing. Like, I don't know, bro. I have never stolen candies from kids, but I guess it must be fun if someone is trying to do that for 2000 times in a row for the third time. But that's his thing. Like, I'm not judging. It seems like I am. I'm not judging. You can do that. You do that. And he has already proven that he can do that. He has almost done that 3 times in a row. Yeah, he can get to 2000 unless he is interrupted by someone that is not a pub player, okay? And this were not pub players, but most importantly, they were at least his acquaintances. I'm not saying they were his friends, but they knew him, they knew what he was doing, and they were not win streaking. That's the important part. It would have cost them nothing to just give him the win, or at least to just play normally. But I'll be honest, I would have given him the win. If it was my acquaintance, if it was a friend of a friend, whatever, someone that I played against and is in my list of contacts, I would have been like, yeah, sure, take the win, who cares? Like, there's nothing at stake for me. But they did not. And that make me remember this episode that I had in high school. So I really like history. I'm not an historian. I don't have a degree in history, but I really like history. And I wanted to get a 10 on a history test that day. And so I went there. I said everything. I studied a lot the days before, whatever. And a friend of mine that was sitting behind me, and she was not in the test. There was nothing at stake for her, okay? Like, she could have just watched her phone and shut the fuck up. At some point, she pointed out a thing that I didn't say. There was like a little footnote thing. So I got, I think, a 9.5 out of that. And I was so pissed. I didn't talk to her for weeks. And so I can understand Momo7 being reasonably pissed here. This is not a DBD matter. Like, I don't think he has anything to prove at this point. I don't think he had anything to prove to begin with. Who in the right mind thinks that a comp player has something to prove against pub players, right? This completely escapes me. I don't understand. Just take a professional boxer, someone that practices box seriously, maybe has been practicing for a year and is very strong in their category, and put them to fight in the local competitions around the world. How many amateur fathers of six just coming out of their shift, dudes that, yeah, sure, also practice box, is they gonna knock out before someone that is also a professional boxer comes into the ring and beats the shit out of them? 2000 seems like a good number for that. So yeah, this is what win streaks look like to me in Dead by Daylight, especially the super sweaty one, top tier killer, top tier perks, top tier whatever. It's ridiculous in my opinion, but it's even more ridiculous, and I'll be honest, like, it's morally shitty. It's morally shitty to just break a friend and acquaintance as someone that you don't dislike win streak just for nothing. It would have been different if they also had a win streak going on. At that point, of course, you try to, you've been informed that it's this person, you know how to play against them. You're probably gonna do your best to just come out on top because something is at stake for you. But ruining something for someone else when nothing is at stake for you, that is such a shitty behavior. And yeah, in case you've ever wondered why I've never dipped my toes into comp, besides the fact that I'm not good enough, it's because I think one of the most awful things that could happen to me would be to have to deal with teenagers for more than 10 minutes every 6 months, which is probably the length of this video, I guess. Anyway, let me know what you think. This is very controversial at the moment, and I am really curious what people think about it. I hope you're gonna have a great day where no comp player is gonna be in your games.